Hey guys, so I'm gonna be quick tonight, but I just wanted to give you guys some food for thought that God gave me this morning. And this is for like people who've been going through the wilderness season with Him and who are waiting on a promise or breakthrough or something like that. As always, test the spirit, take it to God, make sure that it does apply to your situation. But I just want to break this down with you guys and just let you guys ponder on this, okay? So this is what God told me this morning. He said, I have been searching for you in the depths of my heart, and there you have been found. In the morning when you wake, there I will be. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. And that's in quotations. See to it that you are not Bry. I love you. See you soon. And so we're going to break this down, okay? So in the first sentence, he says, I have been searching for you in the depths of my heart, and there you have been found. So what God is referencing here is Psalm 139. So verse 1 says, O Lord, you have searched me and known me. And then in verse 23 and 24, it says, Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any grievous way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. So what God is saying in his first sentence is, for those who've been going through the wilderness, he has been searching the deep, like your inside, to see, like, what are your motives? Will you seek God through all things? Like, are you truly in it to get to know him, or are you just in it for the blessings? And so that's what he's been doing during this wilderness season through the test. It's a refinement. It's helping us to understand the core of all this, that it's not, we don't give our life to Christ just to get blessings. We give our life to Christ so that we can develop a relationship with him. And so that's what he's been searching to see, if our heart posture is in the right place, right? And so for those who have been in the wilderness season with God for some time, and you see, like, you feel almost like this shift, like he's getting ready to shift you into this new season, that's what he's trying to tell you here, is he's been searching for you in the depths of his heart. And so when God refines us, right, through these trials, we become aligned with him and his will for us. And so we become, we are in the depths of his heart, right? Because you know how it says in the word that you will seek me and find me when you seek me with your whole heart. So it's like that passion, like when we truly seek him and develop a relationship with him, we become one with him, right? And so he's saying, and there you have been found. So for those getting towards the end of the wilderness, he's saying, you're there, you're there where I need you to be. The test and the refinement has worked, like they've fulfilled the purpose that he wanted in you, and now he's getting ready to shift you into the new season. So then it says in the second sentence, in the morning when you wake, there I will be. And then in quotations, your rod and staff, they comfort me. So this is in reference to Psalm 23 verse 4, which says right here, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And so what really drew my attention was the commentary in my Bible that says, when we walk through times of darkness and unknown, we can find reassurance that God is with us and we have nothing to fear. So for those going through this transition right now, you might be feeling like, okay, God, what's going on, right? There might be like some silence, like you haven't been hearing him as clearly. Things just seem to be like there's like a pause, almost like a calm before the storm, right? And what God is trying to say here when he says, in the morning when you wake, I will be there. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. What he's saying is, every day you wake up, God is with you, right? God is with you in the unknown. He knows what's coming because he's the author of your story, right? He's the one who's directing your steps. The word says that God directs the steps of the righteous. So he knows what's coming. And so what he's saying, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. That what he's trying to reference is that when you're going through an unknown, remember who stands with you. He's with you. And so even though things right now may not seem clear, he's trying to let you know, don't worry. I've got you. I'm here with you. I'm directing your steps, right? So then at the end, he says, see to it that you are not Bry. So this is where I was like, what? Bry? So when I looked up the word Bry, and it specifically, I saw it in spirit, like Brie. So when I looked it up, Bry is a specific type of cheese. Okay. So I was like, okay, God, where are you going with this? I was like, Holy Spirit, please give me some understanding. So as I looked more into this, like cheese, Brie is a soft ripened cheese that is ripened from the outside in. So mold and bacteria causes the exterior of the cheese to harden, but the inside stays soft and mushy, right? So, when the cheese is matured, it's basically when the outside is hard. And so the ripening begins at its surface, okay? And so when I looked up the definition of the word ripe, it means to develop to the point of readiness for harvesting, okay? So then it started clicking to me, like the Holy Spirit started making sense, right? So what God is saying when he says make sure you are not dry, he's trying to say make sure that the work, the ripening that the wilderness season has done in your life was not surface deep, right? That has not only hardened your exterior and left your inside mushy, right? He's trying to say make sure all the lessons that you learned in this season, that you have taken them within, right? That they've become a part of your core of who you are. Because you don't want that when you step into this new season, that the minute the life starts cutting into you, you become mush. Just like when you cut into dried cheese, the minute you cut into it, the inside starts gooing out and it's just quickly spread all over the place, right? God doesn't want that the minute you start seeing some hardships in this new season, that you just go right back to your old habits and your old thoughts and your old strategies, and you forget that you're supposed to depend on the Lord and you're supposed to seek him in all things and obey his commands, right? And obey his instructions, because he wants the best for you, right? And also, when you've gone through the fire, right? You can expect that you're going to be promoted, and too much is given, much is required. So it's like God is holding you to a higher standard in this next season, right? Like just like uh Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when they got put in the fire and they got taken out, what happened? They were promoted. So it's like God is going to be requiring more of you. So when he says, see to it that you are not dry, he's trying to say, make sure that the work that I did in you is not only surface deep. You know, he's not just looking for you to act the part. He wants you to be the part, right? And so a lot of times what can happen is we kind of get into this like actor mode when it comes to our faith. Sometimes when you've been walking in it for too long, it almost feels like you're scripting it. Like, oh, well, I go to church every Sunday and I go to my Bible study and, I read my word, but you're not doing it with a heart posture. Like, I want to get to know God more on a deeper level. I'm seeking God's counsel because I understand that without him, I am nothing. It's not from that level. It's more of like I've told you guys in the past, it becomes more of like a checklist. And what happens is on the surface, you look like I am a child of God. On the surface, you look like you're doing all the right things, but inside you've become like disconnected, because your heart is not in it. And what happens too is like when we are blessed beyond measure, in which I truly am telling you, those who have been in the wilderness seasons, who have been faithful, I truly believe God's about to show up and show out in our lives. And what happens is when we have been blessed to such an immeasurable standard, we tend to forget what we went through. And so when we forget what we went through, we also forget the lessons we've learned. And what God is saying, don't allow that to happen. He needs to make sure that we have been matured from the inside out, not from the outside in. Okay? He doesn't want us to crumble under the weight of being sent out into the world to do what he's calling us to do in this hour. So this is real, like I said, very quick word. I just wanted to share this for food for thought. Like, I know a lot of us are probably just like itching, like to get out of this new season and get into this new season, and like we're tired of the wilderness. But think about it. Are you ripe? Are you ready? Can you say that when God throws you back into the world? Because a lot of us have been in hiding. God has kind of like hidden us for a season to work in us. And can you, like, do you feel that you're ready, that if you get thrown out into the world, can you deal with the persecution that's coming? Would you be able to steward the blessings that God's about to give you? Do you have the spiritual maturity in you to be able to seek God's obedience when it looks like you have the ability to take matters into your own hands, right? Because when God blesses you, he'll give you the provision, but will you steward it the way God's intending? So it's about having that obedience and having that self-discipline. And so ask yourself, are you there? Are you ripe? And you know, you this is kind of like how you can tell if you're ready to get into that new season. You're not rushing. You're not rushing. Like there's not this anxiety to have to jump into the new season, right? If you still feel like you're trying to put your timing on things, you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. Something I'm learning, and it took me a while to learn, is that when you're spiritually mature, you will want God's will and timing above your own. So when things don't work out the way you were intending them to work out, or in the time frame that you thought, it won't impact how you feel. You'll just say, "Okay, God, not my will but yours be done." And you are truly content even though it didn't work out the way you thought. That's when you know you're ready. You're ready to go into the new season because you've developed this dependency on God, understanding that he truly knows what's best for you. And so you can have peace even when things don't work out the way you thought. So I just want to leave you guys with that. Really bring it to the Lord in your secret places and ask him about it. See what he ministers to you. And I pray that this blesses you guys. And have a great night.